Let's get to details now on the alleged serial killer arrested in the Gilgo Beach Murders case on New York's Long Island. The suspect seen here, Rex Heuermann, a 59-year-old architect from Massapequa Park. He's accused of murdering 3 sex workers and dumping their bodies in a marsh. Investigators pointing to evidence from his cell phones. Sloan Glass is live outside of his home this morning with more on the gruesome story. Sloan.
Good morning, Adrienne. The arrest of Rex Heuermann coming after over a decade of investigating the Gilgo Beach murders. Now, this was a quiet man who his friends say and neighbors say that he worked hard. Meanwhile, police say that this man who lived just behind me with his wife and 2 children was a serial killer.
Weapon after weapon after weapon, caught by our NewsNation crew being taken out of the home of accused serial killer Rex Heuermann.
Rex Heuermann is a demon that walks among us, a predator that ruined families.
Heuermann is charged with the murders of Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello. He is the prime suspect in the death of Maureen Brainerd Barnes. They are known as the Gilgo 4. All sex workers, petite, found near each other, bound in similar fashions. Their remains were found while investigators began looking for missing Shannon Gilbert in 2010. The search for Shannon along the marshy stretch uncovered 11 sets of remains, 9 women, a man, and a toddler. For over a decade, the Long Island serial killer case remained relatively cold. The killer using burner phones to taunt victims' families.
Is this Melissa's little sister?
Heuermann worked as the president of an architect firm alongside his daughter and lived in his childhood home in Massapequa Park.
They just kept to themselves. We talked to neighbors across the street, and we're very friendly around here. Everyone is very close. I mean, we go away on vacation with most of our neighbors, and they did not keep in contact with anybody.
A multi-agency task force created last year found an avalanche of evidence. Burner phones used to call victims' families were linked to email addresses created by Heuermann. Child pornography, images of the victims and their relatives, and obsessive searches online of the Long Island serial killer.
In a 14-month period, he had over 200 searches pertaining to the Gilgo investigation.
Finally, Heuermann's wife's hair was found on 3 of the victims, and his DNA left on thrown-out pizza crust matched the profile of hair found on Megan Waterman.
The bail application points to travel logs that show that Heuermann's wife was out of town each time these women disappeared. Travel logs also show that while Heuermann was out of the country, those harassing phone calls to Melissa Barthelemy's family stopped, only to return again once he came back home. Marky.
So many different chilling aspects and details and evidence to this story. Sloan Glass, we know you've been on it all weekend long. Thanks so much for being on the scene this morning.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.